Good afternoon. Sunday. 10th of May, Starlog 2020. Exciting times. Let's just share this one out and then we'll see. It's not a very nice day today, guys. Not a very nice day today. We've got a couple of people in already. One's got the thumbs up. I'm loving that. Thank you for your support. Bravo. Thank you. Well, I don't need that. I need YouTube. Let's see if we can share this one out. Are we all doing? 4 in. Kerry Roberts. Hello, Shredder. Nice to see you. Nice. Yeah. Interesting times. Some classics by the police this week. I mean, absolute classics, from beating 15-year-old boys up to firing tasers in petrol stations right next to petrol pumps, 50,000 volts. These people wouldn't make rocket science. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, they would not make rocket scientists. They wouldn't. I imagine when they're laid on the slab in years to come, as everyone does, they're going to do an autopsy on the body and go, there's no brain. There's no brain. There's just straw in here. There's just straw. He's supposed to be a cop or officer of the law. Where's the brain? All I need is a brain. They got no brains. Got no brains, guys. Got no brains. How are we doing? We doing all right? It's nice to see you. So, yeah, the police have been up to their usual activities again. And this is a trial run. Excuse me. Hay fever. I had hay fever the other day. Quite a particularly bad bout, to be fair. And my missus says, come on, quick, let's go up to Lidl's. Yeah? Go and have a little sneezing fit in Lidl's. Watch them all diving into the freezers and to the old sugar and the egg. Can you imagine me sneezing up against someone that was just about to pick a packet of eggs up and they go flying into the eggs? Whoa, look, covered in all the eggs. Let's have it. People are so... It's unbelievable anyway. But the police... This is an NWO test run, people. An absolute NWO test run. As I said yesterday, I always live in a little village. Look at me here. Look, talk about lockdown haircut needed. I lives in a little village, and my village and the next adjoining village, because there's no Nazi borders yet, thank God. It's quite hard to police the countryside, rural countryside, in fairness. There's not enough of them yet. Not enough. But they're recruiting. Oh, yeah, they're recruiting. And there's around about 14,000 of us in the two villages. And we've had one old boy die. And the death certificate, that's all I'm going to say and leave it there, has been labelled as COVID-19. And we know they've been falsifying the stuff. We know this stuff. And I'm glad to see that yesterday was a very sunny day. It was Saturday. Many people defying this so-called lockdown business and getting out in the streets and going into picnic areas, and the police turned around and said, it's a waste of time. We can't police this. There's too many of them. Do you understand how powerful it is? There's too many of them. We can't police. And I've said this before. The police are bullies. They're just bullies. Because I've been in situations where there's been 3 or 4 people and they come in stronging it all up. And I've been in situations where there's been thousands of people, and they act like ballerinas. They want to just go directing traffic at that point. Come on, bus, come on through. They don't want to get involved in thousands of people fracasses. The police turn into prima donnas. No, we're constables today. No, we're constables. You're all right. We're going to protect you lot. Any pregnant ladies out there, we'll look after them. Any kids that need refuge in, we'll look after them. But when it comes to a handful and a minority of people, they got 2 sides to them, innit? And I don't like that. I don't like that they've got 2 sides to them. I really don't. Jamesy Goddard, hello, gorgeous. Nice to see you. Tracy Pearson, blessings, Trace, blessings. Kerry Rock, well, I've just been chatting to my mate earlier, and he reckons that the police farces around the country have got it coming soon. That taser was the best one of the week, though, in the old petrol station, where they got their taser stick out. You heard the bang. I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, Mother of Mary, please don't go up. I'm thinking if that petrol pump's having a little bit of vapour coming out of it, then we're all, everyone in that vicinity is going to be toast. I wonder if they had to go and do a review. I wonder if their boss watched that footage and went, oh, God, what have you done? What have you done? You fired off a taser stick in a petrol station. But you can't smoke in there, can you? You can't smoke in a fuel station. You can't light up a little match, a Swan Vesta, can you? You can't flick a Swan Vesta around a fuel station unless you want kaboom. They're in there with 50,000 volts. Talk about an ignition. Can't use your mobile phone at the pump, son. That's got a kilowatt. This fucker's got 50,000 volts on him. Look, he just dispensed it. Boom, just in the headlines in the Sun and the Daily Express. 2 coppers incinerated. Unbelievable. So, yeah, no, the police have been up to their old twisting people up as per normal. And they're trying to normalise this. And what I want to know is whoever said that they owned it all, whoever said that they own the land, the people, whoever give them permission to own us and own all the land and the parks and all that, whoever give the Gestapo the permission to do that, someone tell me I'm wrong. Come on. Excruciating inappropriate. Look, we've even got the police dance in there. Oh my God. Can't watch it. I can't watch it. Beam me up, Scotty. Get me out of here, yeah? We've seen Boris Johnson, funnily enough, wearing a little red tie with a load of white rabbits over it. Ooh. You don't know, do you? End lockdown, don't live in fear, live your life, save lives. I agree. Look, listen, this lot, Mark, there's a geezer come past me yesterday and he's like, what are they playing at? Birmingham City Centre today, they've come out in a public display of posteries and said we're on the verge of bankruptcy. So Birmingham is on the verge of bankruptcy. But what they don't know, they've been in Chapter 11 bankruptcy for a very, very, very long time. Very long time. And the immunity, what I love is I've got my paperwork out, people. Let me tell you, I'm going to become a copper at my ripe old age. Even if I have to go and be a special, I'll be a special, because these people are immune from viruses. They're immune from viruses, ladies and gentlemen. They really, really are. They're immune from the NHS workers. They're immune from viruses. The police, they're immune from viruses. The fire brigade, they're all immune from viruses. They all get out, have a little clap about. The Gestapo, David James, police arresting a guy for displaying a COVID-19 is a hoax posted in his car. See, that's the thing. The police are just a political army, right? They don't want the truth getting out there. They're trying to suppress it like you got no tomorrow. David James apparently has had the police round his house. So join the club because Nigel Farage, as Donald Trump would say. My friend Nigel Farage. He's like, he hangs on that right at the end there, doesn't he? So, if you put up stickers in your motors, COVID-19 is a hoax. COVID-19 is a trial run for the NWO. They're testing to see how people react. If the people come out and go, no, we ain't having it, you can stick your vaccines where the sun don't shine and we're going out anyway, then you will stop the NWO. But if you don't, and you're worried about this little bug, which has apparently killed one individual in 14,000 people just within the 10-mile radius from me, then you're running scared, people. You're running scared of a little to nothing. And look, that's all people like me come in here and do. We come in here and just try and say, look, what's really, really, really going on? And why are the police just ramping up all this? So what? If you put a sign up in your car saying, does that mean you're not entitled to an opinion? Are you not entitled to your firmly held beliefs? If your firmly held belief is that you think COVID-19 is a load of nonsense, you have that right to believe that, and you have that right to display it. You do. If you believe that the world is run by frogmen and they're all little green Martians sitting on the end of your road. You have that right to believe that. All this political correctness is going to end up in some kind of civil war. And I've got lots of people coming to me now saying, right, we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. And I've got normal everyday people that have not seen any of this for years. They're now coming forward saying, Dave, have you seen this video? Have you seen that video? Have you watched Out of the Shadows? Have you seen David Icke's interview? I'm like, whoa. It's only a month ago. You go, oh, no, you're all nutters. You're all conspiracy theorists. And I'm like, they're actually all paying attention there because they're all like, this is a touching cloth moment with the old Bill exerting their so-called authority. I'm just glad they've not been given the order to shoot us all yet. And I wonder how many of them would question that because they're soon quick enough to get the taser sticks out and drop it to the ground like Jimmy Savile. They really are. I hope Jimmy Savile was face planted into the tarmac when they caught him for paedophiling. Or was he already dead? Had Jimmy Savile already died before all this stuff about Jimmy come out? I think he was, wasn't he? Dirty, sick pervert. Anyway, so you're entitled to your opinions, people. Let me tell you, just set up and mind their own business. Remind them who they work for. They work for, look at me glasses, look. Can you believe this? Talk about tough times. Tough times. And because my ears ain't level, they always look ski-whiff. It's only this one that goes to this here that holds it down. It's probably not a very nice view for you lot up the other end there on the other end of the screen. Hello, Clifford Mitchell. Hello, sweetheart. Nice to see you. Where are you from, Clifford? It's all a load of crap. Planned scamdemic. We've all been played. But few can see it. Well, more are seeing it. More are seeing it. We've got Sarah Harvey in. Hello, Sarah. Nice to see you. Just seen a video. The police kidnapped two little kids in broad daylight. My heart is breaking for that poor man. I mean, what? May God have mercy on their souls, man. What are they playing at? Cornwall, beautiful down there, son. Beautiful down in Cornwall. Been there quite many times. Beautiful, beautiful place. Patsy Ballantyne, The Great Awakening. Let's hope so. Let's hope so before it's too late. Yes, I do truthfully think that we're in exciting, enlightening times right now. I really do. And I all hope that you're having really blessed Sundays. Mandatory testing or lose your benefits. This is Californian. This is from state of California. Health and Human Services Agency, basically a death camp. Department of Social Services, as a participant in state-assisted benefits, right? So you're taking a benefit, including cash aid. What's that got to do with it? CalFresh and Medi-Cal, and in accordance with the state of California's emergency orders number, you are being informed that COVID-19 testing is declared mandatory for all members of your household receiving assistance. Mate, you might as well be in some death camp somewhere. You might as well, just stick me on that. Go on, son, stick it in there. Now go and take it. What do you want? Well, you putting it in, you're taking it out. What are you doing? You're selling it for adrenochrome? What are you doing, man? Come on. Truth Seeker. Hello, Gould's. Nice to see you. Yeah, Patsy. Yeah, I'm down to one arm, one leg. I shall order a new pair, but they're going to take about 12 weeks to come through. So we're seeing in California, because you're taking benefits, that mandatory testing, that means coppers round your house, doctors holding you down, sticking thermometers up your bum, right? And you got no choice in the matter. Mate, that's Nazi Germany right there. You may receive the test free of charge. Oh, aren't they lovely? Oh, they're so lovely giving it to you free of charge. But they're going to pin you down for it. They're going to pin you down. And any of the participating sites in Merced County, California, please refer to the attached pamphlet for testing. So you are going to be tested mandatorily. John Wedger. You with John Wedger? Oh, hello, John. Nice to see you, love. So, yeah, and that's signed by Mark Galley, MD, MPH, miles per hour. He's a secretary. He's obviously a very worldly wise individual and has the right to make people come into your house, stick a needle in your arm, whether you like it or not. Congratulations, peeps. We're 21st century is a rush, isn't it? Isn't it a rush? Free of charge, see my fee schedule. Yeah, exactly right, cuz. Cockney Geordie. Hello, love. Nice to see you. Cockney Geordie. Now, that's got to be some kind of a messed up accent right there. Yeah, Cockney and Geordie. All right, mate. Way out, man. I bet you they say it like that. But anyway, lovely to see you, love. Love you as always. Hope you're all right. I'm just here for a bit of light-hearted banter on a Sunday afternoon. I said to my mate this morning, he texted me on WhatsApp. He says, great celebrations for VE Day. I went, yeah, but the ironic part about it is that everyone was in their doors, in their front gardens, wouldn't go round to the next door neighbour's house and have a cup of tea and a slice of cake with them, celebrating 75 years since victory in Europe when we declared freedom around the world. Unbelievable. And now they're worried about a little bug. Can you believe it? And he said, yeah, but at least they were celebrating. I said, irony, just think about the ironic side of this. People ain't allowed out, but yet they're celebrating 75 years of freedom. You can't make it up. Everything's double-edged, isn't it? It's all double-edged. Lisa Smallwood. Oi, oi. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. Cockney Patriot. Oi, Wedger, come on, answer. Where is he? Where's Wedger? Where's Johnny Boy Wedger? Is he in here? Good lad, John. I like John. Good boy. Stood up and told the truth and got his pants pulled down and his bum cheeks smacked, didn't he? By the Metropolitan Police, because they love a bit of it. Let me tell you, they love a bit of violence, these people. Oh, they do. They love violence. They make Harold Shipman look like a pussycat. They do. They make Rose and Fred West look like amateurs. Really do. And I did ask Fred West years ago for a quote on my patio, but my neighbours tipped me off and said, Dave, watch out. We're a bit worried about Freddie boy. So, there were some Rose and Fred West. You might as well have Rose and Fred West in Parliament right now running the show. You might as well, because at least you knew where you are with them. Do you know what I mean? Australian police terrorising children. Take a look. This is getting bad. It is. You've got the Gestapo people. You've got to wake up. You've got a private mercenary force running your country. What is going on? You know, they wear all these black gloves. They got their weapons of war. And they pull your pants down and stick their finger up your bum. Jesus Christ. Cockney Patriot, Wedger. Oh, I don't want no fighting in there. Don't want no. You want to fight? Take it outside. Take it into the saloon bar. Come on, we're not having none of that in the public bar. Look at all these coppers in Australia. They've all got their masks on. They've all got their gloves so they can stick their finger up your bum. Beautiful, beautiful people. Satan's army, as one of the comments has just come in. And this is all public opinion, right? When you see all people's comments come up about this and that, it's all valid. It's all valid. Sarah Harvey, I love you, Ben. I love you too, darling. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. He won't answer for himself. Look, I don't want to do no fighting here today, people. I've already had one of my Patriot mates going, here, go and stick up for me. I'm like, you're silly enough to get involved in all these warring battles between people. You're silly enough to go and sort it out for yourself. I'm not coming to no one's defence or aid if you're picking spoils on people for no reason. I want all the people to come together. Nah, ain't going to happen. Never going to happen. It's just a pipe dream I had. Ruthie, hello, sweetheart. Ruth Stockless props in the room. Oh, I like Ruth. She's gorgeous. Still being forced to stay at home. Number 10 has clarified its new advice. Stay alert. Advice will be stay with people at home as much as possible and keep 2 meters apart in public. Boris Johnson, basically, he's Jesus now. He's Jesus. He can walk on water. He is God. He knows when this little virus is going to attack you and when this little virus ain't. So I know, right, that everyone's indoors at the moment with brown trousers, crapping themselves, right? And all because of what these politicians have told them through the news and the TV and the radio and the newspapers and all this and that. And everyone's like, oh, I can't go out. And then all of a sudden, Boris will come out tomorrow morning and say, actually, guys, you know what? We've looked at the computer model. It's all sorted now. This COVID-19 weren't as nasty as we thought it was going to be. And you know what? You're all safe to leave the house. And everyone will come out in a heartbeat and forget that this ever happened. It'll be tomorrow's chip paper. It'll be like SARS and Ebola and AIDS and all these other things. And on one man's say-so, the country will believe that this deadly virus has just somehow miraculously, effervescently disappeared into space. And the aliens have come down and got it and took it off. Sorry, Dave, but I can't be nice, mate. Listen, you want to have your spoil with people? That's fine. It's not a problem. I just don't like getting involved in all that stuff because I like to keep smiling and not have to look over my shoulder because someone wants to come around and stick a mandatory vaccine in me. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I see this. Oh, even the birds know 5G is harmful and poisonous as they tear the tower down. We've got birds here attacking 5G cell towers. Yeah, they are. I've heard reports, and I don't know how true this is. I've got in the other channel, I've got the saloon. This is the public bar. I've got the saloon bar. People should go into the saloon bar and thrash things out. But it don't matter. Look, I love you all. I do. I love you all. I'm not here to pick spoils with people and individuals. I'm here to pick spoils with government and their policies and their agents of destitution and destruction and death. I'd love Boris Johnson, all his lot, to go and live on the Death Star, in fairness, because I'd be Luke Skywalker dropping that bomb straight down their tunnel. Let me tell you. But I've been hearing stories that in hot, humid weather, that the 64 gigahertz that's being emitted by these cell towers is actually causing them to combust. Wow, that's amazing. Perhaps then the universe will only let us play with certain frequencies. Perhaps it won't let us play with all the deadly, harmful ones. Who knows? Ruth Stockley says, but then the sticker started saying, be aloof. Your country has had enough. Yeah, we have had enough, haven't we? Birmingham is just about to go bankrupt, apparently. That's destitution. Oh, my mate, Chico Salami. You'll remember Chico Time. He's playing a little bit of Elvis and Tom Jones. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Government fear-based manipulation publicly denounced. They've placed this country. I've spoken to 2 people in 2 days that have said that they've placed this country into an absolute state of fear. And they have. And how have they done it? They've done it through their media outlets that they own and control. Look, and how do you know? Where's the proof? People say, yeah, but can you prove that, Dave? Yes, I can, absolutely. There is some information over the Profumo affair and all that happened years ago that almost brought the government down. It was a massive scandal. That the information on the Profumo affair would not be released into the domain until 2048. So that's plenty of years after most people of that time would probably be dead and decomposing, right? So when a government can issue a D notice to stop any news, media talking about a certain subject, that's because they own them. That's because they're owned and controlled. However, people like myself, we're not owned and controlled and can never be owned and controlled. And it must be driving them insane that people like me and others, Daddy Dragon, my gorgeous mate Graham Moore, people love Graham, people don't like Graham. I don't care. I'm not here to pick a spoil with Graham. I love Graham dearly. And I know people have had issues with him and stuff, but it's not my beef, is it? You know, I'm not going to fight another man's or another woman's battles for them if they want to get into that kind of an arena. I don't want to get into that kind of arena. So Graham's now got 17,500 people following him and listening to him on YouTube, and he started off with 0. So that tells you where all this media stuff's going. Now, you won't never control Graham. The only thing they can do is deplatform him if he starts getting a little bit too close to the mark. So we just try and come in and gently wake people up. And what we want you actually all to do is, rather than take our word for anything we say, is go and do your own research. Because that's when you can stand in your righteousness, right? When you can stand in your own righteousness and your own truth, it doesn't matter. Everything else is good, because once you can do that, you're on a good foundation, and that's where you all need to be. Sarah Harvey, you're a tinker, you are. Oh, you little Cockney rebel. She says, I've been sat in the garden with my elderly neighbour today. Oh, suits you, sir. Let's hope you don't get a visit from the Stasi. You know what I'm saying? Because they love a bit of violence. The police now, when it comes to violence, it's like they must all sit around a round table at their barracks and talk about how they can swiftly and the most swiftest way and easiest way and devious way of inflicting huge pain on individuals. I swear they hold meetings just for this. So, right, what we're going to do, Sarge, this week, right, you lot, sit down, shut your faces, put your helmets on. Oh, you're all wearing them right now. Yeah, right. So this week, boys and girls, in blue, 30 grand a year, and you're killing people. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about how wicked and savage you can be. Right, Sarge. Well, I reckon I'll put these cuffs on this geezer the other day. I cuffed them so tight, cut through the tendon on his wrists. Well done. And what was the time limit of that? How quick was it for you to draw blood? Well, I actually managed that in next to no time, sir. And then when he wriggled, he'd done most of the damage himself. Oh, congratulations. Come up and get another little. We're going to make you up to sergeant soon. You do know you're going to go up to become a sergeant soon. The level of violence with these fuckeries nowadays is extraordinary. But the biggest and the most concerning, extraordinary fact about that is why, as a people, we tolerate it. Why do we tolerate that? Right, I'm just going to show you, I don't know, hang on. Right, I want to explain something to you people. See this? The lion and the unicorn. Well, the lion is, whatever the lion is, and the unicorn's a mythical, magical creature. Now, years ago, that chain used to go into the ground, which was common law, laws of the land, but it's up in the air now, right? But this crown at the top here, that they're both kind of protecting, which is the real world, the lion world, the roar, and the unicorn, the mythical creature. This is the second coming. And that's what the Queen's holding it all for. Apparently, Her Majesty the Queen is in her position of power because she's holding it for the second coming. And that's what that crown is. That's what that crown represents. It represents the second coming because it's a crown and he is the King of Kings, right? And it's so she just holds everything in trust for the second coming. Well, when you go into the Bible and you use the law in the Bible, you become the second coming because you come back into the world as a living, breathing soul. You little rebel, Sarah. Listen, I hope you had a nice time with your neighbour and you didn't let people get you down too much. So my mate Danielle Laverty, right? Whether you don't know or you do know Danielle Laverty, she's a comical character. She lives up and around London somewhere. And she's really on point. And I've missed her. She's been away for 3 years, right? Long enough for me to break these glasses. She's been away for 3 years. And she, at the time, she said she was going to disappear because it was having a big effect on her private life. She's now married. And she's come back with a beautiful twist. She's just come back. And the things that she says is just so funny. And she really reaches a lot of people. So tonight's clown speech will pretty much be the 9/11 playbook, only with the word terrorist replaced with virus. I've got to admit, I'm pretty disappointed with the tardiness and downright laziness of this one. Having said that, it's worked pretty well. So if you can't face listening to the floppy-haired fuckmongery, adulterer, expense frauds, the fridge hider almost died my arser, all you really need to know is this. The same threat level system will be used as the post 9/11 threat level system worked. Up in the threat level via yellow, orange, and red. In simple terms, we've locked you back up whenever you like because we have evidence of a further threat. Quite frankly, I'm surprised the virus won't be carrying a backpack and a passport. So fortunate to have these invisible enemies every 10 years or so, isn't it? Be afraid, then be a little bit more afraid. Absolutely beautiful and on point post, Danielle Laverty. She's an amazing, amazing woman. 8th of May 2020, police trying to serve a CV ticket. Now, I can only deduce from my detective-like capabilities that CV stands for coronavirus. I'm good, aren't I? So we've got coppers out there now, and all they're interested in is putting their hands in your pockets, and they don't do it. They don't literally go into your pockets and take the money. They do it in a cleverer way. They just issue these pieces of paper that summons you to various places of whatever through all the councils, because they work for the councils. The police have been subverted by your local councils people, and all they do is they issue this ticket. This guy's had a £5,000 coronavirus ticket given to him very quick. It's that clever and dastardly. In fact, I might actually take this up. I might set up my own government and start getting my terrorists to go out there and making quick £5,000 for writing out a piece of paper. That's all they're doing here, people. It's paper terrorism. My gorgeous mate Davey Moore, Dave Murphy, he's another one to look out for on his YouTube channel and the YouTube channel and Facebook. And he's got such a beautiful nature. He really is a really beautiful guy. So we're in interesting times, people. Most of the people, it's beyond. I mean, all these corporations, the way that they're treating people when you go shopping and that. I mean, you might as well be in 1936 Germany, I reckon. I'm just waiting for the night of broken glass. That's all I'm waiting for, is when they. Because here's the thing, right? We've all been talking about this NWO for a long time, and it was it's out in full force now. It's out in full view for everybody to see. They've come out. They're out now. The old bill are out. They're all out. They've put it all out in full view. Now, what they're actually waiting for now is to see whether you get it or not. And I always know. I know that good always beats evil. I know that. I've proved it time and time again. When you stand in truth and light, the darkness just really becomes aloof. It has to just disappear. It's like Quatermass. Off it goes. My old gorgeous mate here, Gumshoe Sleuth. Imagine if the knowledgeable ones got on the same page, brother. The paper would could have been lit on fire. Yeah, absolutely. And that, it is only knowledge and wisdom that brings you into a different outlook on life. We see we are definitely they've come out now. You've got, if you think that you're living in a free country, you need to just check your thinking. And that was a thing that the copper said the other month when a geezer on Facebook put up a video or a post. He's got 2 coppers around his house and he's opened up his door. He said, "Yeah, what are you here for?" And they said, "Well, you've put this post up on Facebook." He said, "Yeah, and what's it got to do with you?" They said, "We're here to check your thinking." Yes. We're not here to prevent a rape. We're not here to prevent a robbery. We're not here to protect a burglary or child abuse or anything like that. We're here to check your thinking. That's one to think about, isn't it? That is absolutely one to think about. We're here to check your thinking. In robots remind visitors of safe distances measuring in Bishang Moki Park. Now, I've got no idea where that is. It sounds like a Chinese dish that you'd order on your local takeaway. Bishan Moki Park. So they've got these robots now going around on 4 legs, tracking down men and women and telling them, "You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. Go home." This is it. This is the video. I'm going to show it to you. Check this out. If you think that this is normal behaviour, then I don't know what to say. Check out this. What are these people thinking? What are these thugs in uniform doing? Someone please tell me who's giving them their orders. Look, I'm going to take this one off. Yeah, we'll get swindled with that and a few quid on the old social services. Oh, we'll make a fortune on that one. Look, what is going on here? Whoever give them the right to handle your children? I'll tell you what, there probably will be a civil war at some point. I think there could be a massive civil war. And these thugs in uniform with all their weapons, I don't think they've seen anything. I actually think that they're running a very perilous road right now. Because do you think this is acceptable? Come on, get your families to dig their heads out their bumholes and check it out. Look, whoever ordered this on the takeaway menu to run your country? Who ordered this? Look, check out these people. Look, they've taken the babies and they're manhandling women for defying a minister's wishes. What is this all about, peeps? Is this normal? Do you think, is this acceptable to you? I hope it rages you. I hope you get really upset and think, what in the world is going on? What must go through these people's mind? That's ownership. You might as well be on a plantation. Chicken George eating rice and peas, isn't it? Chicken, rice and peas if you're lucky. Look at them. They now profess to own the streets, the roads, the people, the cars, the lot. You are dealing with the biggest mafia that you've ever seen in this world. And I'll tell you what, they're running a gauntlet right now. But I said they're out in full view. They've come out. The NWO has come out. And it is out. They've just stolen the kids. They've stolen the children. What is going on? What about when the kid needs a bit of bitty in about an hour's time? Is that male constable in the background going to get his left nipple out and service it up? What's going on here? Look at the way they're handling people. Oh my God. Talk about the Stasi. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Stasi are here. The Stasi are here. They're not coming. They're not coming at all. They're here. That looks like London, actually. Could be London. Is that London? Yeah, it looks like... let me have a look, see if I can have a little dig in. Could be, yeah. Let's have a look. Away from... where was this? KG. Let's see where KG lives. Shocking behaviour. Oh, Australia. Yeah, I mean, the Australians are under the cosh. Exactly the same as... yeah, she's Australian. KG, she's Australian. She's got 650 friends. I'd tolerate this at your peril, peeps. That's all I come in here to say to people. You know, if you tolerate this, you ain't seen nothing. Yeah, you wait until they really get their freak on. When they really get their freak on, you're going to be like, oh my days, what have we allowed? Why didn't anyone stand up? Why didn't anyone try and do anything about it? Dedicated to this post of powerhouse Mamarini, who was arrested for peacefully protesting against the restrictions. Rennie and her gorgeous son were walking the streets. Police are releasing a statement and she's doing her own media release. Her representative is an Indigenous man and that has never lost a case. She's now suing the New South Wales police. She's suing each officer privately. Fantastic. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. The minute that someone in this country privately prosecutes a constable, not for the uniform, but as the man or the woman, under tort law for the crimes that they've committed against that individual, that man or woman, that's when they'll all go back in their box. We need someone in this country to successfully, privately prosecute an officer of this so-called law, which is, it makes me want to laugh in any case because it ain't law. This is tyranny. Because it is a maxim in law. When force is involved, there is no law. Law can only prevail and exist when no force is involved, right? So the minute that if she wins, and she might do, and God willing that she will, and we need to be doing that in this country as well. We cannot silently sit by and watch this rear up into whatever it is that we really don't want to see, people. We don't want to see this coming into fruition into this gorgeous land called England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. We don't. Daniela Verity, she's on form today. 8 hours ago, she's put up another post. You know you're living in an utterly insane effing asylum when you say to others, hey, I'm not sure wealthy, powerful people with a horrific track records and behaviours of vested interests in the policy, pharmaceuticals and big tech have our best interests at heart. And it's really worth considering that they might not be the best people to tell us what to do. Becomes reason to those human beings to do so affronted. They treat you as though you've murdered a sack of puppies. It's true though, isn't it? If you or your child was injured due to a form of medical negligence other than a medical vaccine, no one would dare send you via messages calling your child names. They would no doubt show empathy and concern for whatever medication or procedure caused it. Your situation would be validated. But no, a medical vaccine that comes with no zilch actual tests to other medications undergo, you're an A-class CUNT with hatred spewing from your pores, wishing death and disease on the rest of the population. She's on fire today. It's a long post. I won't continue with that. You can go and check her out on YouTube. We've got a massive, a beautiful picture here. Stuttgart, Germany. Masses and masses and masses of people now have turned out today in Stuttgart, Germany. Let me just blow that one up for you. So that is Stuttgart, Germany today, people. The minions, the little Daves, are going against their minion overlords with their little one eyes. Look, all these little one-eyed minions out. Look, bless them. They're all out in Stuttgart today, starkly protesting this big Fourth Reich hammer that's coming down and blowing all the way across Europe. So God bless them in Stuttgart, and long may they continue. I personally can't see this is going to be carrying on for much longer. Are you going to go into VK, Dave? Yeah, I will do. It won't let me in. I'm trying to log into it, and it's like, check your password, send you a verification code, but it just won't let me in. I'm trying. I am trying my hardest to get onto VK. I really am. So yes, people, the Fourth Reich is here. This is a trial, right? The time period that you're currently going through is an NWO trial period. They've sent out a cannon, boom, to see how you will all react. Now, if you all bow down, bend over and put your heads in the sand and leave your bums in the air, guess what? You're going to get Jolly Rogered. That's just how it's going to be. But if you all start being a little bit brave and standing up for your freedoms and your liberty, you might actually beat it. Because if you all manage to start arguing and come together, there is a real strong chance that you can knock this out of the park in a very single, swift blow to the so-called establishment. Socially organised children of Brave New World. There's pictures of back to school in China. Let's have a look what going back to school in China looks like. Look at that. You've got your own computer says no bay. You've got your own mask on there, so you're going to get noxious gases going back into your bloodstream all day long. Look at that. Beautiful scenes there from China. And remember, China, communist country. It's communist. We're not communist, people, but we've imported the Chinese model for coronavirus. So we are playing out. This lockdown is a communist program. But guess what, suckers? England ain't a land of communism or fascism or despotism. England is the land of freedom, a bastion of freedom at that. But we've got dodgy politicians like Tony Blair and Kissinger and Condoleezza Rice and all these other wicked, evil people. Here, on your beach today, on your beach, permitted on your beach for exercise only if you have ways of making you talk. Someone put a big straw man what do you call them? Scarecrow out on the beach, stood up, propped it up, and the old coppers in Australia have gone flying down there. They thought, oh, someone's defying us. What? We can't have this. So 3 or 4 of these old Australian plod have gone down and gone to arrest this particular individual, and it turns out to be a straw man with a melon head. Wicked. Whoever set that one up, mate, cheers to you. You're gorgeous. Beach, this looks like Australia because we're not really at the weather yearly, really, for beaches in this country, although we've had a nice couple of few days, but it's just quite not there. Permitted on your beach, you can walk, you can run, you can exercise, you can go surfing and you can go fishing, but you can't use chairs. There's no using chairs right now. Prohibited. Sunbathing. Oh, vitamin D. I like vitamin D. Sitting in chairs, group sports and orgies, groups of people swimming. You are not allowed to go in the sea that God give you and swim together. How dare you? Don't do it. You've been warned. So that looks to be like Australia. So all your God-given rights have been taken away. Donald Trump, as always, he loves stick. He's got a size 9. I love him for it. I really do. I love people that got size 9s that they just slam it in there, and then the rest of the world goes, I'm having a breakdown, I'm having a meltdown, and you see the system come to a complete halt because that's what Donald Trump does. Global report from The Guardian says Trump says COVID-19 will go away without a vaccine. Expects US death toll to top 95,000. That's not bad out of a population of 330 million people. But we know most of these death counts are cancer or whatever related. Now, I personally think that a lot of this COVID stuff, because it's respiratory, I'm going to touch on the smog. And if you was a Londoner or you lived in a big city back in the 60s, you'll remember that we had coal-fired power stations, right? Now, there was a particular instance when we had a fog that blew in. I don't know where it come from somewhere, this fog. It just blew in. And it mixed with the noxious fumes that were being separated from the Battersea Power Station, which is now, they're all arty at Battersea Power Station there, you know, darling. Oh, yeah, cost you to go in there and you go and look at all this nonsensical art, which means nothing to me. And I'm like, that was worth 40 quid. Sweet, yeah. Where now? Dungeons? Let's go Dungeons. And so the smog killed a lot of people. People were going down the road in cars and buses about 2 miles an hour. It's quicker to walk, and you couldn't see no more than 3 feet in front of you, right? And the smog killed a lot of people with lung-related conditions. So you've got to question why, when the government have now said, right, if you're all going back to work, you go back to 4 days and then you go home and rest for 10 days. Remember, they told the drivers of the COVID-19 people at the very beginning of this, back in, I think, January time. I was up in a pub in London with my old mate, Tony Tone, and a couple of others. And we see the aeroplane fly in from China with the COVID-19 people, and they was going for quarantining, because you send your dogs to quarantine and your cats to quarantine, don't you? Yeah, you don't send men and women to quarantine. Oh, you do send men and women to quarantine. That's all right. Don't worry about it. They're expendable. And we see the aeroplane land at Heathrow and this, that, the other, and then we see these 4 coaches, in fact, from Horseman Travel, the 4 horsemen. Personally, I think they're the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. And these coaches are loaded with coronavirus people, the people that have got them off from the government. They're sat there in their suits that they wear, these, whatever they call them, suits with the big thing. And it come to me in a minute. And the drivers of all these 4 coaches, smartly dressed, red ties. What protection have they got with up to 50, 60 people on there thingy with a deadly virus? You guessed it, they were wearing a seatbelt. And these 4 drivers were told to go home and not go out for 10 days, maybe have a bit of jiggy with the missus. I'm not too sure whether that's allowed, maybe from behind, not in front, so you can't kiss. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and I looked at that then. I said to my mate, I said, this don't seem right. Who would drive a coach with 50 to 60 people on there with a deadly virus with just a seatbelt on? So either they know something we don't know, or or they're running a risk of dying with a real deadly infectious disease. Now, I ask you, right, also, before I carry on about the smog, and we get into that, because of the lung-related conditions and all the toxicity. So people have been told to go home and go to work for 4 days and go home for 10. It's because of the noxious fumes in the cities, you see. Miss you on Facebook, Dave. You came back. Probably not, Lise. Probably not. Facebook, I think, is a little bit toast for me. I've got about another 70 days on my ban yet as well. You've got to love a bit of Facebook banning. Go on, Zuckertits. Love you. So, yeah, it's all a bit of a thing. So I reckon this is noxious fumes and stuff that are building up in big city centres from the chemtrails that they're spraying in the skies, probably mixed up with a bit of the old radiation poisoning from the 5G cell towers and diesel engines and petrol engines and all the other stuff that goes with it. I think that's why they're saying go home for 10 days and give your lungs a break, because they're saying that most people will get this. It is a respiratory lung-related condition, exactly the same as the smog back in the 60s. So you make your own minds up, people. We're just bringing in some information. This is for light hard shits and giggles. That's all we do. We come in here just to chat with you guys so that you can try and make your own informed decisions based on current things that are going on in the world within infrastructure, government, and health and wealth. That's all we do. We just come in here and just try and keep the spirit of our great countries alive, because the spirit is being killed at a rather rapid rate. But one thing I do know, and I said at the beginning of this video, is that the light always beats the darkness. All right. Middlesbrough is still like that. Smoggy smog monsters just fishing. Hello, gorgeous. Nice to see you. Carlos, mate. Parliament have gotten away with treason, and I know there's a civil war on the way. There could be a civil war on the way. Truthfully, there could be. Worldwide, people are waking up. Why is England still asleep? I tell you why England's still asleep. Because we are a very obedient, compliant people. No, they would never do that to us. They wouldn't hurt us. They wouldn't harm us. No, Boris Johnson, listen. If you didn't go over the trenches in the First World War, when ordered, I order you to go over that wooden plank and get your brains shot out. I don't fancy that, so I might just nip off round the back for a fag. Okay, well, I'm going to take you round the back, court-martial you, and shoot your brains out anyway. You tell me how much they love you. That's what they used to do. There's a quick court-martial, blah, 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 boom, dead. You go, oh, he's dead. So we had our own countrymen killing our own countrymen on the orders of the New World Order. Oh, well, he was a coward. Actually, he might just not have wanted to die for your bullshit causes. That could be it. The man had a right to life. You don't own him. You never owned him. So we're seeing it. We got a family member that we tracked him down on the Yeeps monuments. They got everyone's name that died, that they could find from the First World War. You got the German sides and the English sides. Well, my family went and found John James Boggis, who was a relative. A couple of years ago, my dad went out and found him. And the thing is, we found online the severance pay that the government paid out for his life and his death, and it was something like 2 and 6. So a man's worth, his life for silver shekels, the devil's coin, was worth 2 and 6. And I'm pretty sure that was a few quid back in the day, but it's still the devil's coin, man. It's still the devil's coin. So, yeah, we're in interesting times where humanity is waking up fast, and the system is, if they think that they can keep getting away with this, they're mistaken. They're just absolutely mistaken. And once the Mandela 100 monkey syndrome effect takes off in this country. Do you know about the 100 monkey syndrome? The 100 monkey effect. If you don't know, and you want me to explain the 100 monkey syndrome, I'll explain it all to you. Now, consciousness is a fantastic thing. We've all been conditioned to live in fear, right? Oh, fuck the fear, excuse my French. I'm not going to live in fear, not a chance, because there's no point in living if you're living in fear. But there was a point years ago where the milkman, when milk was proper milk, drop the milk down, and the cream and the stuff would the whey and the thick curds would separate, and the cream would sit on the top. And these little finches, these little birds, had realised that if they broke the top and pierced the top, they could get the nectar, get the cream, and get through their existence. And it used to drive the milkman mental. Well, anyway, during the war, it was the war. It was 39 to 45, so 6 years. Milk, there was no milkman. The milkman never delivered. And so the bottles had disappeared off the doorsteps. So these little birds that had worked out to pierce the top of the cream, that flew around in the consciousness of the bird kingdom in that species. And during the war, these birds only lived for a couple of years. There would not have been any of these birds that would have still been alive back in the time when the milk bottles had been on the doorsteps and they got the cream from. So finally, when milk bottles finally hit the streets again and was on people's doorsteps, so they gave their cornflakes and their cups of tea with their eggs and bacon in the morning, these birds inherently had remembered in their consciousness to do it. They didn't need teaching. They didn't need training to do it. So that runs right the way through the monkey kingdom as well. Now, the 100 monkey syndrome is this. All the monkeys do the same thing pretty much. And then all of a sudden, one day, one monkey starts doing something completely out of character. Whatever it be, pick his nose, pick his bum, whatever. He does, and all the others are going to him, you sure? What are you up to? And no matter what happens to him and how much they denigrate on him and give him the big one, he carries on doing it regardless. And he does it for quite a long time, and all of a sudden the other monkeys start thinking, there must be something in this, you know. Look, check it. He's not stopping. He's cracking on. This is part of him now. This is his game, right? So a few of the others start doing it and thinking, well, this ain't too bad. I'm having a bit of this. Once they get to 100 of them doing it, within that consciousness level, it affects the whole of the monkey kingdom. And they all start doing the same freaking thing. They don't need to be taught. They get it. Their consciousness goes bing, 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 bing. This is all right. We can do this. We're allowed. Our leaders started to do it. And they look at this one up there that started off. They put a shrine up of him. Check him out. Emmeline Pankhurst, a woman immortalized in statue and stature, right? Started a thing years ago, and the women's vote and the revolution and all what Emmeline Pankhurst did. Now, back in the day, when she was causing all of her eruptions and speaking like she was speaking, the establishment and many people in this country would have thought that she was an absolute pain in the backside. And all these years later, they've immortalized her in a big bronze statue in this country and said, if it wasn't for her, women wouldn't today have the rights that they have today. Just drop my phone. So think on, people, right, that we are doing this through this medium. And I don't want immortalising at all. I couldn't care less for it. If I died tomorrow, dig a hole, stick me in it. I don't want headstone, I don't want nothing. Because Jesus said, the flesh is the flesh and the spirit is the spirit. He said, let the dead bury the dead. I'm not interested. Once I've left this carcass, it means nothing to me. I'm going to be gone. And I'm looking forward to it in many ways, because this world's gone crazy. And if it wasn't crazy and it was still a perfect kingdom and a lovely kingdom, I would not be talking like this. But what I see go on today now, it hurts. It's just not nice viewing. So the consciousness, that's what it's all about. Back in her time period, Pankhurst would have been seen as a complete pain in the rump. People would have been sat around their dinner tables, slagging her off, saying that she was a no good do-gooder, trying to do this and trying to do that. Now, if you speak to any woman, especially about Emmeline Pankhurst, they will all know of her, and they will all say, God, man, what she gave up for this people of this world is unbelievable. So think on. We're just trying to change the way this world is. That's all. And we're doing it with niceness, right? That's all. That's all we're doing. True Seeker, yes, please. So I've just explained that one. Branson, new airline will be called Shitar. Susie Singer, loving it. Mervyn Bell, hello, gorgeous. Nice to see you. Bitchin Mac, that was of a time when the white feather was worse than death. Yeah, you used to get white feather in an envelope. If you didn't go to war and do all this and that, all the peerage around your village would go, here, that Dave's not gone to war. He's bloody stayed at home with his missus, isn't he? The coward. Yeah, and what they do, sometimes they put them in one of these. Sometimes they just drop it through your letterbox at white feather, and they would all turn on you. Like that whole place where you live would just turn on you. Germany, thousands of protesters slam isolation measures. We're seeing it in England now as well. High streets, people on the high streets. This pandemic, scamdemic is nothing more than that. And that's not me talking nonsense. My village and the adjoining village proves it. All right. A pandemic or an epidemic, millions of people die. They drop dead. People put their dead out. The hospitals can't cope. The funeral directors can't cope. Bodies stack. All right. You would know someone that's next to you or a couple of doors down the road that probably would have a body in the garden, in the fridge, wherever, right fucking now. All right. That's a pandemic, people, not this excuse of a pandemic. That's actually what happens. That's recorded in history. That is not conspiratorial. That is fact. There would be people in your streets right now that are lumbered with bodies in their homes. They would be. A pandemic, epidemic is something that you only call a pandemic and an epidemic when it's killed hundreds and thousands of people. All right. It gets recorded in history as a pandemic and an epidemic. People don't come out straight away and say, fuck me, there's an epidemic on the street. It takes it to the virtually end. They go, cool, how did we get through that? 50 million people died. That was a pandemic. That was an epidemic. That was Spanish flu. That was when epidemics were proper. That was when pandemics were proper. Hardcore. Not this thing that's killed one, allegedly, and I'd question that, out of 14,000 people in the Weald of Kent. So that's why Bitchin is on here calling it a fake demic. And I concur and salute you. Because out of 14,000 people in a pandemic, at least half of them or more would have perished and died. And there would be people up and down my street. My street would stink right now of dead bodies, fecal matter. It would stink to high heaven. There would be pestilence. There would be that was funny, wasn't it? There'd be pestilence and rats flying everywhere, midges and mosquitoes everywhere, buzzing around. Oh, they love a dead body. So this is a joke, people. This COVID-19 is a joke. Nightingale hospitals, all the staff are in there going, we're ready for you, people, when you decide to turn up. Whole of the Excel Centre, right? I don't know if it was just one side of the Excel or the whole thing. We've turned it into a Florence Nightingale hospital, people. 20 beds. 20 beds busy. Yeah, 20 beds. 20. And all the staff are there going, what's going on? Does anyone know what's going on? Does anyone know actually what's going on? No. Because it's a fake pandemic, scamdemic. And I will shout it until the flipping rafters are coming. There's people dying. People are, oh yeah, but they've got lung conditions, Dave. That'll go to vet. People die all the time, people. 30,000 people died last year of the flu. Why are we not all outraged about that? Why did we not all sit indoors? Okay, I ain't going out today, mate. The flu's out there. You kidding me? Well, it's a nasty. What do you mean the flu can kill you? Yeah, the flu can kill you. You got a bad immune system. You're going down, son. Oh, I ain't going out then. No, I'm going to self-isolate. I'm not going out. You telling me the flu's a killer? Yes, the flu's a killer. What you got to do, people, is grow a pair. Get yourself a little pouch for the gentleman out there, sporting one. Go and make yourself a nice little codpiece. You remember codpieces? We all should start wearing codpieces again, gentlemen, if you don't mind me saying so. A cashmere silk-lined codpiece for me, I thank you, sir, would be beautiful right now, because a codpiece used to define a man's genitalia and make him look bigger than he actually was. And people used to go around in their local communities and go, have you seen the size of his codpiece? Massive. It's got a have you seen it? It's bigger than mine. My husband's got a codpiece, but it don't touch that. We used to wear codpieces. Beautiful things they were as well too. They look really cool, and it protected you from foreign instructions. You know, from whacking the old codpiece, you went, hey, didn't touch me, son. I'm still flying. People, pay attention. Teach the kids the truth. So, kids, what did we learn during lockdown? Kids have got their hands up saying there's only two genders, vaccines are poison, Bill Gates is a bad man, and social distancing is social conditioning. And the teacher's going to go, oh, I'm having a meltdown. What's going on here? Fantastic. So look, peeps, people are dying, but guess what? People die every day. You know someone who will buy a codpiece? Look, I'm telling you, go and check out a codpiece. They're beautiful. They keep your crown jewels just fine and dandy. And I wish, there's been a few times in my life right now where I wish I'd had a codpiece on. Yeah, you bet. A cashmere lined, silk lined codpiece would just be right, proper right now. Let me tell you, Cotswold woman didn't clap for the NHS to be burned at the stake. Residents in the picturesque Cotswolds village of Wintonshire have confirmed today that local resident mummy-free Deborah Jensen will be burnt at the stake this weekend after failing to take part in the weekly clap for the National Health Service. It was her next-door neighbour, Laura, at number 7, out banging her pots and pans, who first noticed Deborah's no-show, said Town Councillor Gregory Townsend. Laura was horrified. So, of course, she immediately put the awful news on her local mum's WhatsApp group and then on Facebook page. The reaction was one of sheer revulsion that a creature of such pure evil as Deborah, who doesn't love the NHS, could live amongst us decent folk. The next day, as a mob were daubing traitor on the front of her house and smashing her windows, a tearful Deborah emerged from inside, begging for forgiveness and explained that she'd be up all night and the youngest being sick, and they had fully meant to take part in the clapping, but she'd fallen asleep on the sofa, but it was too late for her excuses, said the councillor. Deborah's burning at the stake on Sunday will be a massive charity event in aid of local good causes, and there'll be a barbecue with tombola cake stall. And bring them by. Everybody's welcome. That's fantastic. I'm loving that. Gary Law saying time to stand up. Now they are going to do us all in. And as you've seen from the evidence, Bob's your uncle. Yeah. Interesting times, peeps. Carlos, what's that about? Being burned at the stake for not clapping for the NHS. Yeah, it's in the Cotswold Times. Have you not seen it? It was our clapping correspondent, Goody Proctor. So Goody Proctor's done a fantastic article in the Cotswold Times, and dubbing a woman in for not clapping the NHS at 8 o'clock on a Thursday night. Now, I told you this the other night, and I think I did just a minute ago. Back in the Black Death, the plague, throw out your dead, where people were really throwing bodies out, people. They had ring of roses, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, they all fall down. Back then, people were really genuinely throwing their dead out, and they were quite grateful because it'd been stinking up the living room for a while, right? It's not nice. I don't know, maybe put some scent of rosy around them or whatever. The old Febreze. Now, what if they'd have had Febreze back then? It would have been a much nicer environment. So, back then, when you had your dead, they used to come out on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock to collect the dead because it was cooling down. Right? I don't want to be collecting dead bodies in the middle of a day when it's 38 degrees outside and the sun's caking. You know what I mean? Jesus, can you imagine? So the easiest and most practical thing to do with a forward-thinking mind would be to pick the bodies up in the early to middle to late evening. So at 8 o'clock the man or the men and maybe the women. I might say it's probably men's work back then. I'd probably say the women were staying at home feeding the kids on the nipple and all that, back then. And the men, I'm not being sexist, would go out. Let's say everyone goes out and gets the dead. So they'd come down the street and they'd be shouting out, "Throw out your dead, throw out your dead. You got any dead?" And because, have you got it? No. So they had to have something that you could identify with. So when they come down with their "throw out your dead," they had to have something that people quickly got used to, and that was clap. You clap, woo, over here, look, I've got my husband's, we was having sex the other night. I noticed this little ball come up around his balls, and I weren't sure. I had to have a good look at it, and he's dead now. He's been stinking the kitchen up. We've had him laid out on the kitchen scullery table. Yeah. Can you take him? Yeah, we can take him. Yeah, we'll take him. So people, that's what happened. At 8 o'clock on a Thursday night, the body men and women used to come down your street and collect your dead. That's what they used to do. And they used to dig a massive big hole. Poor geezer digging the holes must have been big holes, right? I want to show you a picture of, actually, no, I'm not going to, but there's a video going around of China, where they've got these pigs. Apparently they've got coronavirus. I didn't think animals would have in it. And they've dug a big pit and they've buried them all alive. And then they've covered them over with soil and buried these pigs alive. I mean, as a peace-loving, life-loving, animal-loving individual, this place is turning into Satan's lair quicker than you can say boo to a goose. Dr. Judy Mikovits' book, Plague of Corruption, is the #1 best-selling book on Amazon. As you luck. This is how we roll. There's some really good people out there that have managed to come up with a way of getting a message out where it's not on your case all the time. Do you know what I mean? Dave on Facebook now, the sharing is back. Sweet. Thanks, Trev. How you doing, Trev? Nice to see you. World-class Satanist. Hello all. Oh, we got the old Baphomet in the room. Oh, hello, love. Nice to see you. Susie Singer. Hello, Suze. I'm loving your comments, by the way, Suze. You seem to be a really switched-on, loving individual. I'm loving it. What's this? 40 people and kids in a party in Bolton. The old Bill raided it, and the party people were spitting and coughing on them. I've said the old Bill are immune from this. Look, and let me tell you, right, if there was a deadly virus where half the population were dying, if not more, and they were dropping like flies, you wouldn't have two couples stood by side each other. You would not have two ambulance men going out in the same vehicle. You wouldn't. You wouldn't have fire brigade all clapping and hugging each other and say, "Oh, Kushti, look at this." They must be immune from it. So maybe I'll get on eBay in a minute and get myself a constable's jacket and helmet, or a fire brigade suit, or an NHS worker suit, maybe the NHS or a doctor's outfit. But then I'm going to be immune from this shit, right? We're going to be immune from it. That's what we're going to do. Lauren Page says Thursday at 8, I'll let them all know. Yeah, they used to say you kick out your bodies at 8 o'clock on a Thursday night during the Black Plague. And that's when that was a real plague. That's when people were really dying. I must be a bad egg because there is no share option here. No, you can share my stuff. I've not stopped anyone from sharing anything at all. Let's see why there's a thing come up alongside of. No, I've just added you as a moderator, Bill, to be fair, because you're a good soul and a good egg. So yeah, we're in really weird times, but we are certainly. This is the political whatever they are testing to see what you're all going to do. That's what they're going to do. They want to know what you're all going to do. And on that point, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on here an hour and 15 minutes. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Neil Cox, can you check your message on Facebook? I've messaged you a few times and tagged you. Okay, Neil, I'll have a quick butchers. Come out of comments and it's on first page, can share. Well done, Lauren. Nice one. Oh, right. So Lauren's saying, Bill, come out of the comments and go on the first page and you can share it, right? Sweet. The pig culling in China back in September 2019 when it was a case of swine flu. I was going to say, I don't think coronavirus has been touching the dogs unless the Chinese have been having sex with animals. I know they like eating the dogs, don't they, out there? All the Philistines. It's mad, man. We're living in a crazy, crazy world. It's getting crazier by the minute. But there's one man to watch out right now. Now, where he's going to go and where he's going to end up, I don't know. But I know that he's been scorned this week, big time. And I think that he will actually be questioning what goes on. And that's Nigel Farage. Because I've messaged Nigel Farage in the past, and he's not really got where we're coming from. But given the fact that the police have come round and knocked him up late at night one night this week, and I'm not talking about got him pregnant, they've come round because he's gone down and done these videos at Dover, alerting all my brothers and sisters of my country that this ain't right and what's coming in and where's the distancing and are they bringing a virus in, blah, blah, blah. He has had a visit from Kent Police, and he did send Kent Police a letter to the Chief Constable, Alan Pewsley. What response he's going to get, he's probably going to get none, because the police are just arrogant. Now, we are the master race. We've got all the weapons. You're going to do what we say, and if you don't, we're going to fuck you up big time. All right? So watch him, because I think that he's actually going to come out now and go. You can see in his face when he's talking on LBC. I can see a picture of him here, and he looks scorned. He looks like a man that's like got a bone up his bum. He really does. He looks like he's up for a fight now. So I'm hoping, because he has got a massive platform, whether you like him or not, he's got a massive platform. Now, I know quite a few UKIP councillors and a few others. I did have a sleazy Labour councillor come up to me in Maidstone a few years ago, and I shook his hand and I couldn't pull my hand away quick enough. It was like, well, I don't like your vibe, man. But there was a gorgeous man there called Eddie Powell, who was a UKIP councillor, and he's gorgeous. And if you can add Eddie on Facebook, well worth adding, because he's a good soul. And he does great for Maidstone and the Weald as a councillor. He really, really is good. So, yeah, I will be back with you, ladies and jelly spoons, tomorrow. Please tune in to my gorgeous friend and mate, Graham Moore, Daddy Dragon. He comes on most evenings and goes into the late hours. 17,500 subscribers now, after 18 months of ditching other social media platforms and coming over to YouTube. And I'm really starting to come into this now, and I'm starting to feel this platform more and more and more, and got rid of the Facebook side of things. Facebook's too controlled for me. The solar's going very well, Trev, very, very well indeed. Can't do anything, Lauren, except watch or comment, mate. I'm not sure what's going on there, Bill. But there you go. You should be able to share. I don't know why. If you go back onto my channel, you should have an option to share there. But anyway, peeps, it's good. The numbers are slowly starting to build. Depends on what time of day I come on here. But I just come on here because I know that if you keep, as monkey syndrome, if I keep coming on here, spreading the message, and that's why I do these live, because I don't want to be all glossy and to be looking good on here. I couldn't care about that. I just want you to take the information and that, and for us all to come together. So I don't care what I look like. I don't care if my glasses are broken or my ping hat's 7 years old and gone sun faded. I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if my ears ain't level. If you're paying attention to that, you're too into your ego, you won't even get what I say in any case. It's only people that have come out of their ego that actually care about their country, their community, and their people that will actually hear the words I say. And that's the audience I'm looking for. They're the people that I want to touch and communicate and verbalize with. I'm not interested in all the ones that are in the ego and worried about all this and that. I couldn't care less. If you want to come on here and make fun, that's fine. Not a problem. You're special. So I will see you all very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in today. But they are firing a shot across the bows. They're testing us all. They want to see what happens. But I guarantee you, within the next 2 weeks, the people of this country are going to be like, right, we've had enough. We're just going back to normal. And they will fire that shot back across the bows. Take care. Love you all. God bless all of you. May the Lord keep you safe.